Hi, welcome to week 4. We have the Hurricane Florence weather just hitting this part of North Carolina. So what do you do in a rainstorm? Essentials videos, apparently at my house. So we are going to celebrate. I gave you a gold star right here, even though it's not gold. You can pretend it's shiny. Because you are at week 4. Weeks 1, 2, and 3 were a hurricane of information. Big, huge storm of a ton of information. And you should feel really good about yourself, because if you're having dialectic discussions with your students surrounding chart A, B, C, D, E, and F, week 4 has no new charts. Just keep reviewing. And we've only done 3 weeks of videos and we've already covered this much. So today I'm going to try to apply some of this information as we go through some simple things. And then just know your task sheets, you're going up to the 4th step. If you're a 2nd, 3rd, 4th year student, you can go to step 5 and 6. But right now, you are doing such a great job getting to step 4. So we have simple structures today. We are going to add a simple and do a compound at the end, just to get you moving toward that. Don't worry, we're not going to do it first. Imperatives are in today's lesson. Those are commands, right? We have purposes, and they're declarative, interrogative, they ask questions. Imperative make commands. They can end in a period or an exclamation point, depending on the emotion of the command. And then exclamatory, and those express or exclaim strong emotion and end in an exclamation point. SVI, every sentence has to have a subject and a verb, right? It must have an appropriate end mark, start with capital letter, and it must make complete sense. Subject and a verb, you can snap your finger, you have a simple sentence. All right, today we're going to get to the point where we have a subject and a verb, another subject and a verb, and put them together with a coordinating conjunction and make it compound. Review your charts, work on your task sheet. Today's new word is starred here, and it's interjection. If you did your tasks or your diagramming from week 3, they actually introduced interjections a little bit early. And so you may have thought, what do I do with this? Well, here's the definition for you. An interjection is a word or phrase used as a strong expression of feeling or emotion. Do it a little bit faster. An interjection is a word or phrase used as a strong expression of feeling or emotion. All right, we're going to give you some examples. Oh, ouch, quiet, help, wow, good heavens. These can end in an exclamation point. That's a really great giveaway, and they're easier to spot. But sometimes, for example, a sentence might say, oh, comma, thank you. Oh, thank you. What do you do with the O? It's an interjection. It just has a comma. So it's still going to kind of hang out on the top, because an interjection is just thrown in. That's what interject means. It's thrown in. It comes from Latin interjectus. And the dog wants to be thrown outside right now, but she's afraid of the rain, so she hasn't wanted to go to the bathroom. So, Ellie, get in your bed. I'll take you out in a second. Let's get through this real quick. So, an interjection, let's create a sentence. Let's say, all right, this is what I tell my parents all the time. In the book, the lesson said, John sits down. So I'm going to say, Sarah calms down. And I tell my parents, my sentence is so similar to one in the book, but only so that you learn it here and then you don't have to make up something at home. You can use the one in the book at home. Okay, some parents like to just repeat what you did in class, but please point that out to them. Do what your parents prefer, and if they are okay doing them both the same, that's fine. I ask all of mine, they prefer that I come up with different ones so that they can have something fresh at home, which is what's in the book. So we're going to take Sarah calms down. And what is this? What's the purpose? It's just declaring something, right? Whoops. Sarah calms down. Sarah calms down. So Sarah is our subject, noun. It's a name, it's a noun. Calms is a verb. Is she calming something specific? We don't know. She could be calming her emotion, but it doesn't say that. So she's just calming. Down is describing how or to, what level. So down is an adverb. Because is Sarah down? No, she's calming down. So you can recognize, we're going to do a lot with adverbs and adjectives, but we're not there yet. So for right now, just know if they're talking about the action, it's most likely an adjective or an adverb. If they're talking about the noun or the pronoun, they're most likely an adjective. If they're talking about another adjective, then they're an adverb. But you'll learn that during adverb week. Don't worry about it today. Let's change this up and let's use imperative. How would you say Sarah calms down and make it a command? All right, we're going to make it imperative. We're just going to say calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Calm what? It's still just calming. And then how? Down. Adverb. But a sentence needs a subject and a verb. Where's the subject? Everybody look at imperative and say imp, imp. Imp, imp. Imp, imp. Imperative sentences have implied you. So I made a little song, and because we're focusing on the you, okay, you calm down, I thought we got to figure out a way to love that little you. So we're going to say, the subject of an imperative sentence is implied you. The subject of an imperative sentence is implied you or understood you. And that's to the tune of, I love you, Lord, and I lift my voice, okay? Because I love you, little implied you. So imp, imp, you're going to have an imperative sentence with an implied you. So look for the little imp. You got to throw it in there. All right? It's a subject pronoun because you is a pronoun replacing Sarah. Calm down. Now, what if I said, Sarah, calm down? In fact, Sarah, calm down. We'll make it exclamatory. All right, Sarah, calm down. Is Sarah the subject here? Is this a command? It's imp. Remember, it's going to have imp, imp. So where's the imp? Sarah, you calm down. That's basically what we're saying. And that would be the subject pronoun. So what is Sarah? Do you remember from chart E, nouns can be used in a lot of ways. Spidopona, this is the N of pona. A noun of direct address is used to call upon a person and is set off by one or more commas. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Sarah, yes, ma'am. Calm down. So that's a noun of direct address because it's a noun, a name, and I'm directly addressing Sarah, telling her, you calm down. Really quickly, before we move on, let's diagram this. You would have the implied you as the subject, calm, and then how, down. Where would Sarah go? She would hang out up here because she's just been directly addressed, and noun of direct addresses hang out at the top, much like they're thrown in there. They're very similar to an interjection. So now let's switch gears, and we're going to go to interjections. All right, I hope this is helpful. I really love doing this. I get very excited, but I don't want to overwhelm. I just want to get you thinking and help you ask your questions. Okay, so looking at your week 4, they actually bring in a compound complex example, If you're a third or fourth year student, go ahead and do that. If that's too much, just read it over. And don't worry, your example sentences for your diagramming practice, week 4 are so easy. They're just this. And remember, you're going to have imp, imp. So you're going to find those implied views with weep, dance, yell, sincerely weep. And the most complex one there is weep with the joy of the Lord. And weep with the joy of the Lord, I always tell people, if a sentence is bigger or longer, look for your prepositional phrases first. And then you'll be able to find the subject and the verb very easily. So lesson 4 ends with, and every lesson ends, it'll show like a scripture verse or some kind of a word of encouragement. Oh, I know, Ellie. Just wait for a minute, okay? And this one says, he said to them, go into all the world and preach the good news to all creation. So since it's imperative, a lot of times these go along with the lessons. I just want to point that out before I go. Go into all the world. So this structure is simple. The purpose is imperative. So what's the subject? Who are we speaking to? Who is Jesus talking to? Implied you. That's your subject pronoun. You do what? You go. And then, remember I told you, if you find the prepositional phrases first, it's going to help you out. Because that just removed everything else into all the world. And then what happens here, come here, you don't have any other words to be a direct object. So you know this is verb intransitive, you go. This is the preposition, and this is the object of the preposition. They're going to be nouns or pronouns. Go into what world? The world, that's an article adjective. Latin has no articles, a, an, or the, but we do in English. That makes it specific world, not just a world, it's the world. And then all world, that's an adjective because adjectives describe a noun or a pronoun. They describe, modify, or limit. And this is making it unlimited. It's all of the world. So the way that this would go would be you, and I would make my G really big to know this is the start of my sentence. And then into all the world, prepositional phrases start on the slant. That's where the preposition goes. On this line, the object of the preposition, world, into all the world. Now, what was the rest of that? It said, go into all the world and preach the good news to all creation. So if I took that off and said, and, this is going to be a coordinating conjunction. And this is going to take this plus this, and we're going to make it compound, if Ellie can hang in there long enough. And preach the good news to all creation. I'm going to make it exclamatory because this is exciting. And first I would say, find prepositional phrases. Are there any? Yes. So, what is it? To all creation. Look, that just took half of this out. Preach the good news. That is imperative. Imp, imp. So you know that your subject is going to be implied you. You do what? Preach. Are you preaching something specific this time? Yes. Preach news. So it's transitive. This is the direct object. Good. What kind of news? That's adjective. And the is an article adjective. The good news. So I'm going to come down here and say, you preach what news? The good news. Now, to all creation, there's your preposition, and this is your object of the preposition. It's a noun or a pronoun, a noun creation. All is your adjective, but this whole phrase, is that adverbial? Is it modifying the verb like go into all the world? into all the world, describe where to go. To all creation, is that modifying news or preach? Preach. So you'd put it here, preach to creation all. Now what did I forget? This right here, you're going to learn conjunctions soon. But for today, just say verb to the verb, verb to the verb. Ellie, verb to the verb. And you're going to make a dotted line and a little swing, put your and it's going to come back down. Go and preach. I hope that you've enjoyed this and that I didn't overwhelm you. But a lot of you are already past this point. If you're doing your editing exercises, like I said, just look at where we are with this week's punctuation and capitalization and just pull out 1 or 2 verses from that and just do like capital letters and end marks. Your mother tongue for interjections on lesson 8 has practice A, and there's a bunch of stuff you can do for your interjections. If you were to go through a task sheet, you would modify. And your sentences this week for that are so easy. Weep, dance, yell, right? So you can do it. Love sincerely. Enjoy essentials. And have a great week. Last thing, I posted this as a printout on the video 2 for week 2. This is great. They printed it at Office Depot for me and aligned the arrows to be on one big page. And if I could have, let me put Ellie down, I would have colored in this box here because right now your sentences with SVI are just going to go down these questions and end in the purple box. And SVTDO are going to come down here and end right there. That's pretty much where we are at this point. So have a great week, and we will be back for week 5. Thanks.